Good morning, and welcome to the Peace to You crew here at Peace Lutheran Church in Arvada, Colorado. And we're just so happy that you're here joining us today because we're excited. We've got one of our parishioners here that's a very, very busy person, and she's also one that just recently went to the Dominican Republic. And this is, I'd like to introduce Judy Niewitty. It's not your common name. It's not Smith. It's Niewitty. Okay, so anyway, she just got back from the Dominican Republic, and we're going there, and then in another week or so, we're going to be going to Guatemala and doing some builds there. But this is our first time that I know of that we've gone to the Dominican.
Yes, it is.
And Judy, even though she's small, she's a tiger. So she did a lot of work. But I know there's a lot of folks who'd like to learn more about what happened in Dominican.
Okay. Well, first of all, the team composition is, it doesn't matter essentially how old you are or how young you are. We had some little ones there, which, of course, need adult supervision or grandparents. But also, we had someone who was 80 there and working. And one of the differences between Dominican and Guatemala is the temperature and the humidity. It was hotter, and there was a lot more humidity than there was in Guatemala. But the good news was no mosquitoes.
Oh, I love
Even
that.
though they warned us, we all took our mosquito spray, there were no mosquitoes. So in that count, we lucked out.
How do they get away with that? We have mosquitoes.
I don't know, but they did, and we were all very thankful for that. The accommodations were different. Unfortunately, Casas por Cristo, who is the sponsor of all of these builds that are done in all these different countries, they rent everything in the Dominican Republic instead of having their own facility. So it wasn't quite as nice, but you make do when you're in a foreign country anyway. And so it was a little bit like no hot water, so it was cold showers, which felt really good anyway.
Yes, yeah.
And the hardest part is talking to yourself all the time when the toilet paper goes in the trash can and not in the toilet.
Oh, those are tough.
And that you carry your water bottle around with you all the time. Because you can't drink the water, you can't rinse your toothbrush off without using your water bottle. So those are the things, and no AC in the living or the sleeping spaces.
Right.
But there were fans, and there was an area right outside our bedroom pod that was air conditioned. With sofas, and we were able to relax and cool off. But the only unfortunate thing was because they rent space, the warehouse was separate.
Oh, I see.
So every morning we had to follow the truck over about 3 or 4 blocks, load the truck with all the saws and the equipment and the generator
issue, right?
and all. Oh yeah.
Secure.
And so we ended up having to do that, and then of course at the end of the day when you're tired, you get to unload the truck.
How fun.
But the good news really was they are building a new facility that should be completed next year, and they are working on the ground already and leveling and hauling in dirt, and it's going to be administrative offices. They have a lot of trainees that come in to do it. There will be housing for them while they're there, a nice, kitchen and eating area, and then dormitories for the volunteers and their warehouse.
It's amazing how the Lord provides. You're down in a third world country, and first of all of you folks that just donated your time and your efforts, your expertise in a lot of places,
Right.
doing that, but then the Lord also provides all those things where they can build an administrative office
Yes.
and have all that
Right.
large facility. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, they're doing fundraising for it, needless to say, but
Right.
they've been very blessed with the money that they've already received, that they've been able to acquire the land and then be able to go and start to
How
build.
many houses did you build?
Just one,
Just the one house, but
There
it
were-
had 2 bedrooms, is that correct?
3.
3 bedrooms?
Three
Oh my
bedrooms.
goodness, that's bigger than,
The mother that we built for, has 2 teenage daughters
okay.
and a son, I believe, who was about 8 or 9. And so we had 3 bedrooms. The 2 girls had bunk beds in the 1 bedroom, and then the master for the mother. And she actually asked for this house, or well, the pastor approved it, but because she left her husband because of abuse.
Oh,
So that was a sad part, but
Yeah.
at least she was enough to get out, and she had a lot of family around there. Her brother lives, just a quarter of a block down the road, which is a dead end.
right. Right.
But yeah, they're just so thankful for everything. They have so little,
Mhm.
and yet it's amazing. They're happy, they laugh. There's the food in Guatemala. We had PB&J sandwiches and ham and cheese for lunch that we made ourselves. These women cooked for us every lunch, and the food was incredible. I have no idea what they use on the spices and the pork and whatever it was, but it was delicious, and we ate. So that was kind of nice. But we were warned, you would have to take additional breaks just because of the humidity and the heat.
Yeah. And, how many bottles of water did you go through in a day?
A lot.
Did you?
We were reminded constantly to do water
Sure.
and also sunscreen.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely
that's right.
incredible.
Yeah.
But the kids, I guess that's one of the things that really struck me.
Mm.
There is no language barrier when it comes to the children. They can interact with each other, they can play. How they communicate, I have no idea, but they do. And someone had actually taken a picture of one of the little girls in the neighborhood who was sitting on a swing with one of our little girls, and the 2 of them are wedged on this seat, on this swing, and they have their arms out around each other. And it was just the sweetest thing.
That's great.
But again, all of them played together, and we had some of the young kids, probably 11, 12 years old, that were working their hearts out,
Yeah.
just like everybody else. So,
What always surprised me in going to those countries and when we've done builds in the past is that, these people are very poor, but yet their children's clothes are so clean. How do they do that? How do they, with all that dust and dirt and everything around, these moms are amazing. Not only are they great cooks, but how they keep their kids looking so nice all the time and so clean. I loved it.
they do. It is amazing to me. And they're so helpful with each other too. They were serving us coffee during the day, and it was just, and there were so many neighbors, and the pastor was there helping for 3 days. Everybody in the neighborhood, relatives, and some people, when we would pull up in the morning, there would be neighbors who would be just sitting out on the sidewalk, on the street or whatever, waiting for us. And the minute we pulled in, they were right behind. And we didn't have that in Guatemala. It was essentially just our team members that worked on the houses. But this was a total community effort. And I guess I probably should say, too, that how these families are chosen, the pastor in their church is the one that receives the applications. And then he talks to the individuals, determines which ones have the greatest need. And then those go forth to CASAS. And then they make the determination as to where the priorities are. But Dominican Republic did meet a milestone at the end of December of 400 homes they've built since they started.
Great. Wow.
So
Wow.
that was really,
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, these people are living, like we talked about before, they're in cardboard and things like that, or the metal, like corrugated steel type stuff. And,
right.
We even saw homes that were like old garage doors that they used as walls.
They do.
So when they get a house like this, I mean, it's so exciting for them.
It is.
And now you also brought down, you had some mattresses and things like that for them that were donated.
Yes, the congregation and anyone is welcome to donate money for fans, for the water purification system, or what they use, any furniture like the mattresses or even the bunk beds, those kinds of things. So that's always there too, and that money is very much appreciated, because this family was very fortunate that they were actually able to not only get mattresses for the bunk beds for the master bedroom, but they also got a table and 4 chairs and a small propane stove, which was, unheard of, because they do all of their cooking outside in most cases, and a lot of it, their dishwashing and clothes washing and everything are done outside as well.
Sure.
So that was.
Well, that's fantastic. And now, Judy, how many people went with you? How many did you have in the group?
Well, I think there were 28 of us, and one of them was one family with 3 of their children, their stepson and daughter, and as well as I think there were five grandchildren that were with them too.
Oh my goodness!
So that made up a large part of our group.
20 of the 28.
That's right. But it was interesting when the people who in the neighborhood who helped. We had one guy. He showed up every day, and on the day that we had to shovel the sand and the rocks into the buckets for the concrete, he was so funny. He was just moving so fast that they couldn't keep up the rock pile with the sand, because he was sanding, so he had his own way of filling the buckets too. And when the second day, when we were kind of finished with all of that and some of the siding and things like that, I got to the point where, you have to understand, I'm a hugger.
Oh.
And so every one of those guys that, were neighbors or from the church or whatever it was, I was giving everybody a hug, because that's the one way you can say, in addition to gracias, is a hug. And they all kind of stand and look at you at first when you put your arms out, and they're kind of hesitant about what's going to happen. And then you kind of go like this, and then then it's okay, just as long as they know what you're going to do.
That's great. I know how much they appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Just being part of the crew. We had some guys that came in, just being part of all of this and making new friends.
Yeah, and that was like Ed, who came along, and he was in Guatemala as well, and he became our official photographer. And he was out there taking photographs of anything and everything, which we were all able to put onto the, it's a site where we were all able to load our pictures on. So everybody that took pictures every day, we could upload them to that. In addition, Ed put all of the ones that he had taken out there, so you could really see the construction from the very, very beginning all the way to the end. There were only 3 little mishaps that we had. The first morning, about 1/3 of the concrete was laid for the foundation, and one of the cement mixers broke. So we were down to 1, so that slowed us down a little bit. But the second morning, we were on our way, because it was about an hour away from where we were staying.
Sure.
Some of the guys in the back of the bus thought they heard a little bit of a boom or something,
Uh-oh.
and the AC went out on the bus. So then it's windows down,
Yeah,
and let the
yeah.
hot breeze blow.
Oh, gosh.
And then the third and last day, well, let me preface that first by saying in Guatemala, the house dedication, was present them with the Spanish Bible,
Mm-hmm.
which each member of the team picked their favorite Bible verse,
Oh,
underlined it in the Bible, and then put their name and the Bible verse in the front of the Bible. This time they actually bought a children's
there you go.
Bible as well, because they had 3 children. And the children on our team, they were the ones who actually picked their verses and did that for the children's Bible, which was really nice. So they present those, and then they give them the keys to the house. And in Guatemala, it was kind of that the pastor spoke, but this, he said, is not only a dedication, it's a celebration. And he said, be prepared. This could last 15 minutes, or it could last an hour. And it was an hour. There was singing, there was some dancing, and there were 2 long rows of plastic chairs. I think everybody in the neighborhood and from the church was there, and it was a celebration. It was 7 o'clock when we left the site on the last day.
Wow.
And then we got a quarter of a mile from the site, and we had a flat tire on the bus. So everybody unloaded the bus, and we all stood out there, and as the sun was setting, the tire was changed, and we were ready to go, and we did have dinner at 9 o'clock that night.
And still no air conditioning on the bus.
And still no air conditioning
Yeah.
on the bus.
I can
And then you may as well add the last one was on the way to the airport when there was a truck ran into the center divider with rock, and the traffic stopped.
Oh.
And I've never seen a 2-lane highway that turned into 4 lanes. Those people must do that all the time. It was just amazing. On the shoulder, on both sides, center divider, and there are just 4 lanes of traffic moved.
Yeah, their driving capabilities have always astounded me. How they
do.
can get around these things. But, well, Judy, it's just really, really great to have you here. And we really appreciate you taking out the time to talk to everybody. And we hope to have you back, because I know you're always busy with something, and there's so many different interviews I would like to do in the future. But, like I said before, doing the Lord's work is so special, and to be there in the Dominican and working with those people and showing them, just showing them God's love, and that kind of plants those seeds for them too. And they pay it forward, and and those people
Yes.
they become self-sustaining.
Yes.
And they do a great job. But we really thank you for being here, and thank you for your efforts there.
Sure.
And thank you for staying cool and not getting too burdened.
And it was a wonderful experience. I recommend it to anyone, that if you really want to serve, I know there are a lot of places in the United States, but this is clearly one that they are so grateful, and they are so thankful to God for everything that they have, that it's a wonderful experience. It will change your life. I really believe that.
We can learn from them. They learn from us, but we can also learn a lot from them.
Yes, we can.
And so, it is wonderful, and you're right, just to be able to do that service. And if you don't have a church home, we'd love to have you right here at Peace Lutheran Church in Arvada, 57th and Field, and come and join us. And if you come over here, please introduce yourself to Judy or myself or Pastor Guy, Pastor Tim, and just let us know you're here. And if you have any ideas, like thoughts that maybe this sounds this sounds like something I would like to do. Well, then you want to get in touch with one of these folks, and hopefully we can get you in on the next trip that we take, because we go down there quite often. And again, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Blessings on your week.
Blessings to you too.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for Peace to You at Peace Lutheran Church in Arvada, Colorado. If you have no church home, we'd be delighted for you to join us at 5675 Field Street in Arvada. Services are at 8 and 10:30 a.m., with Bible classes for all ages at 9:15 a.m. You can easily access our services online on our YouTube channel, Peace Arvada at youtube.com. or wherever podcasts are found. Coming this January, tune in to the new video podcast at Peace to You on youtube.com or listen wherever podcasts are found. Now, from the entire broadcast team at Peace Lutheran in Arvada, I'm Reuben Hollenbeck, and may the peace of our Lord be with you now and always.